Coach Woodman Show is brought to you by Little General. The Coach Woodman Show will be on timeswv.com each Wednesday before Fairmont State football games.
All right, Coach, let's take a look back at the Shepherd game last week. Obviously, they're kind of the first defense to really rattle Cooper a little bit. I mean, what did you see out of that game? I mean, obviously, he threw 2 interceptions, but it looked like he might have been able to play well and kind of picked him apart a little bit. I mean, what did you see from him?
As far as Cooper goes, if he could take those 2 back, he would, but it's not always on the quarterback in those situations either. But I thought that we played pretty well early, even though the score wasn't what we had hoped early. But the block punt and then his first interception that ended up being a touchdown pretty quickly really kind of hurt us. So it was hard to kind of get the momentum back after those 2 plays. But we kept playing. We finished the game fairly well. Our defense played a lot better in the second half, and Shepherd's really good. You got to give them a lot of credit. They're very talented up front on both sides of the ball, and we're just not quite there yet with our program where we like to be. Monty's been here a long time. He's had a lot of time there, and it is what it is. We're moving on to Glenville. We started talking about Glenville as soon as the game was over, and we put that behind us and started moving on, and we're looking forward to a big challenge this week. They're very good as well.
You said you guys started talking about Glenville as soon as that one was over. I mean, what did you tell your guys about this week? I mean, obviously senior week for them. They had a couple big seniors. Obviously, they're going to be looking to do some damage. I mean, how do you guys maybe flip the script on them and take advantage of them kind of being a little bit emotional, or what did you tell the guys?
Well, anytime Glenville and Fairmont plays, it's going to be emotional. It's not, I'm sure that the seniors have a little bit more on their mind being that it is senior night, but Fairmont Glenville's, it's going to be a knockdown, drag out anytime they play anyway. So, I don't know if there's any way you can really use anything against them. They're very good. I mean, they have a ton of weapons on offense and a very good defense that is third in the conference right now in just about every category. So, it's going to be a challenge for us. We're going to have to go in there and play really well, and we knew that as soon as the game was over. We started talking about it. We couldn't really dwell on what had happened last Thursday, and so far it's been a pretty good practice week of practice, and we've done a good job. It's just you just never know when you get down there.
You look back at last year against Glenville. What were you guys able to do last year that really set you guys apart in that win?
Well, last year's completely different. I think that at that point in the season we were in a different situation than we are now. We were coming off a pretty big loss to Shepherd, and we're kind of in a different situation. I mean, I think that last year we played with a lot of passion, a lot of intensity early, and it really helped us. I think that we were able to kind of put a game together for 4 quarters when we needed to, and Glenville's a completely different team than they were a year ago. They have both backs are running extremely well all year, and the quarterback's another year older and more mature, and it's just a completely different team, but judging from last year, we started fast and finished strong, and when you do that, you have success no matter who you're playing.
You mentioned kind of like a big rivalry between Fairmont and Glenville. I mean, tell me a little bit about the little history of that. Obviously, you guys have a trophy that you give out every year for the team that wins. They get to keep it for a whole year. You guys have it right now. I mean, I'm sure you'd like to keep that. Yeah,
that's always something we play for. Our guys know the history and the passion in both sides of the game, and what the legacies of both programs have in the past, and what we represent every year when we play them is something that our guys are aware of and proud to be a part of. So like we talked about it early in the week, it's our job to go out and represent the guys who've been here before us, and go out and compete and play and do what Fairmont State's supposed to do. And we try to do that every week, but when you play in Glenville, it's a little bit more special. It's they have the same chip on their shoulder that they have every year against us, and same that we do. So it should be a good matchup. It should be a good challenge. Like I said, they're going to be good. We got to be ready to play.
What are you guys hoping to do as far as defense goes? I mean, they have 2 pretty good backs. Either one of them can kind of bust out at any time. Is there a certain game plan to kind of keep them in check a little bit, or is it just kind of maintain?
The only way we could probably keep those 2 in check is if we're allowed to play with 12 or 13 guys at the same time. Those guys are very good. I mean, no one's been able to stop them, so we're going to do our best to kind of try to contain them as much as we can. And you got to give those guys credit, man. They're good players, so we know going in they're going to make plays. We just have to be able to respond, and when adversity comes our way, see how we react to it, and just keep playing and see what happens.
Sure. And on the other side of things, offensively, you guys have guys who can make big plays too. I mean, the past couple of weeks, it seems like Brandon Boyd has really come along as far as another option for Cooper. I mean, how nice is it for him to have a couple different guys to go to reliably now?
Yeah, he's been there all year. We just didn't really have an opportunity to get him the ball, and we finally started getting an opportunity to get him the ball a little bit more, and he's been making plays for us. So, I think Coop trusts all those guys pretty well. I think that we know if the guys around them play well, like we always say, then those guys are going to make plays for us. It's just getting everybody around them to play so they can execute. So I know Coop's comfortable with them. He has been for a while, but it is good anytime you can see 3 guys with over 40 catches. That's a big deal for us too, and we're doing a good job of spreading it around. Nobody's really been able to pinpoint Fabian, kind of like they did last year, and it's helped our whole team.
Key to the game to close out the season with a win tomorrow night.
Yeah, we got to start fast, and we got to be ready for both those backs, man. We got to find a way to kind of slow them down a little bit because they're very good, and we want to try to control the clock a little bit more than they do, and that's how they've been able to be successful. Is you can't stop those guys and they chew the clock up. So we got to start fast. We got to take care of the ball, and penalties are going to be an issue, I'm sure. So we got to take care of those as well.
The Coach Woodman Show is brought to you by Little General. The Coach Woodman Show will be on timeswv.com each Wednesday before Fairmont State football games.